Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail. Oh boy, I'm telling you, we are firing it up here today. And I want to just mention, for those of you that are pinging me here, yes, we have a show at 1 o'clock Pacific time today. It is on a show that I do that is not under the name of the Dr. Pat Show. It's under the name of Lyme Talk Radio. Lyme is not like the little green fruit. It's Lyme for Lyme disease. And yes, we have some announcements to make. Why do we do this? Why is it that, I sit back and I think, oh man, okay, let's do another show. Let's get it out there. Well, I'm not going to answer that question because I got two people that know a lot about this, Carol Dorian and Suzanne Evans of Spiritual Diagnostics. They know a lot about this. And what is it they know? Well, let me just tell you. Diagnosing the condition of the spirit. And I was just talking to them about this before we came on air and how I was kind of stuck to an idea. And the idea was not an idea of the spirit. Now, I want to just say that these phone lines today are going to be way open for all of you all to call in because they do a fabulous radio show, which we're going to tell you about. But if you want to meet Carol up close and personal here, you're going to meet somebody that is not just a longtime student of healing, many, many forms of it, but she is somebody that has said yes to working with people, whether it's face-to-face or over the phone, but taking a look at the vibration, the psychic energies, whether it's studying under a master shaman, which she has done, whether it is traveling to places to really tap in and experience the energy firsthand, whether it's looking at metaphysics in a way that applies to everyone, not just those of you that think I don't have any psychic abilities, but how do we do that to handle the mysteries of life? Today, you're going to meet Carol and get to tap into that. Now, Carol has somebody that joins her on this journey, Suzanne Evans, a psychic, intuitive healer, Reiki master, you name it. The skill set that Suzanne's put together to then help all of us bring forth the best, the brightest, the shiniest parts of who we are is extraordinary. When you put these two ladies together, what you can expect is epic. And I love this because they have now teamed up to do a fabulous radio show, which we're going to tell you all about today, and are joining me here so we can get some things moving, get some energies showing up, and be able to bring back that beauty in spirit that can help us through everything in life. Carol, Suzanne, great to have you here. Welcome.
Oh, it's great to be here. Very happy to be here.
Be here, Dr. Pat. Thank you so much.
I am jumping up and down, happy to talk with you. Today we're talking about diagnosing the condition of the spirit. And I want to start off with this story. I was sharing with you before we were coming on that I had an epiphany. We're getting ready to launch our crowdfunding campaign, and we went and reached out to thousands of people who we've worked with over 14 years. And it was hard for the team, and Linda especially, to reach out to people with the idea of, do you want to help us? Would you send out an email? And quite a few people said, no, we don't do that. And how attached we get to 20% of the situations in life. We put 80% of our energy on it, and very rarely any of that energy has to do with the spirit. I love this topic, and I want to ask each of you today, diagnosing the condition of the spirit. Wow. How is it we get so lost in not really remembering the power and potentiality of that? Carol, let's start off with you.
Well, I think that one of the ways that we become so lost in that is that we are constantly facing challenges of life that are presented to our physical being. And these are things that our eyes see, our ears hear, our mind takes in. So we're taking it in at a level that we feel that we have to make sense of it. And sometimes making sense of it means analyzing, like when you talked about your situation with us today, the numbers, so many people for it, so many people against it. And sometimes our logical mind takes over to where we can see, but we lose touch with what it is that we feel. We lose touch of what we are feeling around us because we're too busy seeing with our physical eyes, taking in with our physical ears, feeling the response of the physical body, not understanding that the spirit has absorbed this experience before our physical aspect has taken it in. And that's where it's a matter of bringing the two together in synergy, in sync.
Wow. Suzanne, what do you think of all that? What do you think? You think we could get a little bit stuck on that 20%? And we all do. We get stuck on our nose when people say no. No, you can't do this. No, you're not approved. No, you didn't get that job. No, you can't eat that ice cream. You got to eat your spinach. How does this resonate with you and relate to what we're talking about today, which is spiritual diagnostics?
Well, Dr. Pat, I totally agree with everything. Excuse me. I totally agree with everything that Carol is saying because, sometimes we can't just look at what is going on physically. We got to look what is meant to be in our path, what is going to happen in our path. And we got to take sometimes a deeper look into the situation. So I am in total agreement.
Yeah.
Oh. Spiritual diagnostics. Let's talk about this. I really love this. And also, you have a fabulous hit radio show, too, where you bring this to the forefront. And so let's talk about this idea, the purpose, right? This idea. Spiritual diagnostics. I think many of us, when we hear that, we say, yeah, but yet I don't think we quite understand what that is. Can you shed some light on this for us?
Well, the purpose is diagnosing the conditions of the spirit. So many people are storing energy in portions of their spiritual body that has not been released. And it can be due to emotional traumatic experiences such as divorce, loss of a loved one, emotional or physical abuse, unresolved energies that are even from past lifetimes. And these unfortunate situations leave a stain or a trace of energy. And that residual, it stores itself in areas of the spiritual body. Sometimes a certain vibration or energy that is being projected does not even belong to the person who is projecting it. It can be your aura and your energy field can actually be projecting energy of your relatives, and this energy may be contradictive to your goals and fulfillment, and this stems from spiritual DNA. So spiritually diagnosing the energy source and the cause of a retained energy contributes to the method of healing. So in spiritual diagnostics, we diagnose what is being stored, where it is being stored, and then we create a spiritually guided one-on-one method of release.
Well, you know, I think we go through life and we have some ups and we have some not so ups.
Mm-hmm.
And what I hear you talking about is being able to, let me use the word flag, because I that's what comes to mind. Being able to flag those moments where we get stuck. Just like what I shared with you before, where here we are, we've been doing this 14, 15 years, interviewed about 8,000 people, and here we are reaching back to people. And it would make sense that, our team here would say, hey, how would you like to help us with our crowdfunding effort? But sometimes we get attached, and that attachment may be to an outcome, right? That
Yes.
has very little to do with our spiritual direction, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And
And
I want to talk with you about that, because the spiritual direction and the spiritual DNA is something that we don't talk about very often. So let's talk about what those strands might be and how they create that condition.
absolutely. What is spiritual DNA is it is basically in the same way that hair color, eye color, and certain physical traits and health conditions are hereditary, so are emotional and spiritual energies. So what happens is sometimes our aura absorbs an experience of our parents' life and their experience, and it's being projected through our life, creating a negative or positive response. So in some cases, we are bound or held back by what has been spiritually inherited. And your spiritual DNA holds the code to why you came here, what you've come here to create. However, at a time we can be holding aspects of that energy that needs to be released. Your spiritual DNA is holding information to how you handle situations, what you feel, how your faith system works. And there are portions of this that serve us. They serve our mission, our journey, our path, our purpose, but there are portions of it that can be contradictive to that. It's very important that we are projecting our own energy and our own experiences. And sometimes there are situations where we have received a certain energy frequency from a strand of our spiritual DNA that is overriding our unique strand that is meant to project our individual energy in order to complete and accomplish our purpose and our path of living.
This is really this place where on a day-to-day basis, we get faced with what I like to call, that goes stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. And that's what it feels like sometimes. It feels like I'm in my stop and go moment, stop and go moment. Now, stop and go is not flow. Stop and go is not the glow of flow. It's just not. It's stop and go. It feels like I'm in bumper to bumper traffic, right? That's what it feels like, right? That is not really the optimal place, right? Suzanne, yeah, exactly, right? So I want to ask you, how does this DNA affect us? I mean, is there something we can do about it, maybe to have less of these stop and go things?
Well, yes, because in receiving, we're all going to receive our spiritual DNA. It is embedded, the code is there. But in receiving certain portions of spiritual DNA that are contradictive to the path, we cannot stop what we've received, but we can override what doesn't serve us. So that's the important part of it. For an example, there are people who are living out their parents' type of marriage. Maybe they don't want to. They're not contributing the same factors to their relationships that their parents did, yet that effect is taking place in their life. Or they're following an unwanted pattern in whether it's work, whether it's health, whether it's their love life, that they're saying, this is how my mother or my father or my parents were living, and this is not what I wanted. And so that energy of what they did not want that they've received from their family, whatever it may be, even some addictive patterns, it is being projected through their energy field and lived out in their circumstances. So when there is somebody who is going through that, it is important to diagnose why, exactly what portion of the spirit body is that DNA, that portion of the DNA being locked and blocked. And so what we do is, once we diagnose why that is there, why their aura, their energy field is holding that specific portion that does not serve them, we then can help them eradicate it and release it.
And, if people may think, well, wait a minute, why do we want to eradicate? Why do we want to release? And let's just talk about the idea of flow for a minute. Because, flow, some people say, is the natural state of being.
Absolutely.
It's that place that's really our birthright. And yet we hear over and over and over again, don't we, how life is such a struggle at different points in time. And I wanted to talk with you about this because isn't the idea of a spiritual diagnostic to help people get back into that flow? It doesn't mean that your life is awful right now, but maybe your life is really, really good. And isn't it about engaging in this idea of being so present that a spiritual experience could in fact happen?
Absolutely. And the reason that we say eradicate it and release it is because if an energy is being stored in one particular area, you're not having the circulation. It's not circulating through your energy system the way that it needs to. It's repeating the same beat. It's kind of like if you were playing a scratched CD. The CD is meant to go through so many different areas for you to hear the rest of that melody, the rest of that tune, but it's just going over the same beat over and over again. And if that CD was released in the playing, it's going to go forward, and you're going to get to the next portion of that. So when we eradicate or release an energy, it's not removing the natural flow of what a person was meant to receive from it. It's releasing that same stagnant beat. Because sometimes we receive what we're meant to receive from a situation, and it's time to move on from that to go to the next. But sometimes we find ourselves replaying that same scratched beat. So it's important to understand what energy is beneath that's holding it there. And through releasing that is where flow starts to become activated.
I love this. I want to take a minute and just invite folks. We've opened up the phone lines and 1-800-930-2819. Now, I would love for you both to share with our listeners, what's going to happen when they call in. What should they be ready? Some folks always, they ask me, they say, well, we don't know if we can ask certain questions. I would love for you to share how you both work on your radio show, but also how you work with folks. And as they call into the show, just give them a sneak preview of what you can help them with.
Okay. Suzanne, do you want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
Go for it,
Course.
Suzanne.
People could call in and ask any type of question that they would like. Nobody has to feel like maybe their question is too big or maybe it's too small. Right. Because regardless of what their question is, we will be able to connect to their energy and have an answer for them. So definitely anybody who wants to call in, regardless of what it may be, whether it may be about something you're going through emotionally, something that you're going through in a relationship, a family matter, something that you're just feeling physically, spiritually, somebody could call in and ask anything they would like, and we will definitely be able spiritually to connect to their energy and provide an accurate answer.
And we do that through voice vibration. We both work in a way where when we're seeing people in person, we are receiving visual vibrations, and when we're communicating with somebody or listening to their question, we can receive their voice vibrations. That is the psychic aspect and the visionary aspect of our gifts. So when a person calls in and would ask anything from a health question, could be a question about their pet, whatever it is they want to know, we are receiving the flow of vibrations through their voice, and through this we are able to answer what it is that they would like to know.
I love this because we were talking previously today about this idea of expectations, and sometimes what has to happen in the world we live in is, let's clear some energy. But let's talk about this from let's use a real live example, because I think it's important for folks to not just hear what we're saying, but to have a real life demonstration of how this works. It's fascinating what kind of, and my language is, spiritual blocks we can create. For us, it's really clear that we are on a mission, that we have a platform in place, that we have technology that is very close to being built. And, we step out and we say, wow, our listeners would really like us to get this done sooner. They want to come over from other networks. And it's like, Pat, my gosh, how can you get it done sooner? So a light bulb goes on one day and says, oh my gosh, why don't you do some crowdfunding on this? So we do. We put up a page and we get ready to do it. And then we come into our own limitation, and the limitation of, wow, here we are reaching back to people, and it's just not turning out the way we thought. But maybe it doesn't have to, right, ladies? It can turn out the way that Spirit would like it to turn out. Mm-hmm. And I would like to talk with you about that real life situation, because I don't think I'm alone about having expectations. Everything from, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the partner that you wanted to show up that didn't show up, the job that you were hoping for, whatever that is, all of the above. How do you help with the spiritual D on something like that deal right there?
So I just want to be clear. So your question is, when we have expectations in life of the way a relationship is going to turn out, the way our plans, our goals, and what we feel is our path that we are on, when we are proceeding with this and we see that what we're aiming toward or what we were feeling is going in a certain direction is not happening?
Yeah, we get stuck on the not happening as opposed to really going with the what is happening. And, sometimes that's stuck on a what's not happening. Not that either one of you have ever been at that place, right? But sometimes when we get stuck on the what's not happening and our energy goes to that, it's almost like a psychic attachment, right?
Yes.
It's like it's not living in the spiritual process of that. And we can't see it. And we think we're doing okay. We think we're doing okay.
We think we are. And, it's diagnosing, how spiritual diagnosing helps and aids in a situation like that is it uncovers what is going on beneath the expectation. What has created your expectation? Is your expectation coming from what you truly want? Is it coming from what you feel others want? Is your expectation coming from seeking approval? Is your expectation coming from settling? Is your expectation coming from not having a high enough expectation? And then, that's a big one. And then what we do from there is we find out, after we uncover that, we're finding out why. What has taken place in your mind, your life, or past life, body and spirit, that is having you expect from the point and reasons that you are expecting. And if your expectations and path is where it needs to be, we then find out why it is that it's not coming to fruition. Is it a matter of it's the right vibration, the right desire at the wrong time? Is it the perfect plan with the wrong person? Spiritual diagnostics will diagnose why you are expecting what you expect and from where it comes from. Authentic self, expectations of others, or a condition of the spirit that is not serving you. It's very important to understand why you come from where you're coming from. And spiritual diagnostics brings that. It brings that information.
And it's a lot. It's really, this is why I love listening to what you both do to help people for a lot of reasons. And when we come back from break, we're going to, Karina, we're going to just bring you right on the show here. But before we go to break, let's take a moment and let you both tell folks how they can work with you directly, how they can find out more about you, and certainly how they can find out more about your radio show.
Well, if you're listening to the show and you want to call in right now or afterwards, you can give us a call at 312-898-2285. You can log on to our site, spirituald.com, and listen to our show every Tuesday, 12 o'clock Pacific time.
Awesome. Now we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Karina, we're right there for you. We will come right back and bring you on the phone here and get your question on here. Those of you out there, you want to kind of get it kicked up here with us and get digging into some of the stuff we're talking about today, 1-800-930-2819. When we come back, more with Carol, more with Suzanne, more with all of you right here on the show. I'm Dr. Pat. We're going to take a shorty. We'll be right back.
The taste of the sweet life. I miss the conversation. I'm searching for a song tonight. I'm changing all.
Chris Stanis is a spiritual leader and healer and teaches a course on how you can transform your life through a meditation and healing system that will manifest your spirit's dreams. She manifested the Women of Wisdom Conference, the Women of Wisdom book, and this radio show. And she can show you how to change your life too. Are you ready? Visit the website and contact her at voicesofwomentoday.com. That's voicesofwomentoday.com.
Tune in to Lucid Planet Radio with Dr. Kelly Neff. This hit show will illuminate your senses and empower you beyond your daily stressors and hardships. Renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly will captivate you with far-reaching topics and amazing guests as you wake to the greatest version of yourself. Learn to tap into your intuitions, think critically about our world, heal emotional and psychological wounds, and follow your passions to live your dreams. The Lucid Planet. Welcome home. Visit lucidplanetradio.com for more information.
Song of the Heart, Walking the Path of Light, from author and healer Francine Vale, is available now. Through Francine's life story, we learn how imperative it is to love one another. Once this simple truth is learned, peace on earth will prevail. Song of the Heart is a life lived and a story told for this purpose. To learn more about Francine and her amazing gifts, or to order your copy of the book today, visit angelsandlightbeings.com.
The Doctor is in. Tune in to the hit show, The Psychic Love Doctor, with host Deborah Lee. Deborah's life-affirming, highly perceptive reading method has taught Deborah how to zero in on specific problems with relationships, career pursuits, and current roadblocks to success and happiness. Join Deborah Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific, and for a special broadcast the second Thursday of every month at 11 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Pat. The ancient Inca root vegetable maca is world-renowned for its wide array of health benefits. As a family-run company of true maca specialists, the maca team's mission is to provide you with fresh, organic, premium quality maca powders at a fair price. Amazing. All of the products are always organically grown, fair-traded, GMO-free, fresh, and potent. So don't take my word for it. Experience the life-changing benefits of maca today. Visit themacateam.com.
Have you ever tried to make lifestyle changes but had difficulty following through? Imagine what it would be like to get up each morning with energy, clarity, and motivation to tackle the day. If you want to get past limiting barriers that are preventing you from living your best life, join holistic health and wellness coach T. Carrie Mitchell each month on the Dr. Pat Show. Or visit lifestyle120.com today and start to receive the personal attention you deserve.
Hey everybody, it's so great to be having all of you tune us in and turn us on. And Carol, Suzanne, before we hop over to the phones, again, tell folks the best way for people to get a hold of you directly, and also how they can listen to your show as well.
So you can get a hold of us directly by calling 312-898-2285. Or you can tune in to Spiritual Diagnostics Radio every Tuesday, 12 o'clock Pacific Time. Log on to spirituald.com, and there is information there on how to contact us and what our services are about.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we've got a caller. Let's go right to the phones, Mr. Benny, if we could.
Sure. Karina's calling in from California. Karina, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Karina.
Guys. God bless you.
Hey,
Hi.
cool.
Thank you so much for a wonderful show.
What can we do to help you today?
Basically, I am calling because you guys are having a really good topic. Well, always are. I am having some issues parenting because I am repeating the same thing with my parents. Basically, the yelling, back in the days, well, not even back in the days, I guess just some families yell in the house, and that's just a discipline, you be firm and show them who's boss or whatever. So, my son, he's 8 years old and he's still bedwetting at night. And I'm like, okay, there's a problem here. And, we talked to him and it comes out that, yes, he's used to me being very nice to him and very sweet. But, once the momster comes out, he gets so terrified. And I really scare him. And that upsets me because of all, with everything that comes with that. So I talked to him yesterday and I said, I'm working on it. I'm trying, But then this morning he spilled his cereal all over the carpet in the living room, and he knows he's not supposed to have it in there. And I'm like, so I went off and I yelled at him, and then I dropped him off at school, and I'm at work, and I'm like, oh, there I go again. I just had a talk with myself yesterday, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, I need a spiritual diagnostics. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, ladies, there you go.
Well, I'm picking up a lot of vibrations about this. As I'm listening to you talk and I'm feeling your vibrations, I can hear that you're frustrated, and the method of discipline and communication that you were was a part of your life is coming through to your child. But even though, what's interesting about this is, even though you're saying, I'm not happy with the way that this is turning out, I'm not comfortable with the way I'm communicating this disciplinary conversation with my child, it's repeating itself immediately again. And the reason for that is a pattern becomes stored in the aura. A pattern becomes stored in the spirit. So the very thing sometimes that you say, I'm going to change this. This is not the way that I want to do this. This is not the way that I want to communicate. It seems almost like as soon as you say it, then it's happening all over again. And those are the type of patterns that can absolutely be broken. But I want to tell you that the first step, you've already taken it. You have noticed it. You have given it attention. the awareness in itself starts to create a pattern to be broken. So the awareness is there. Now there may be some spiritual exercise, and it may have to do with your throat chakra. It may have to do with the navel chakra. It may have to do with your aura. And for that is where spiritual diagnosis comes in, so that you know, now that you recognize your pattern that needs to be broken, where are you going to address the healing method? Is it through one of the chakras? Is it through your aura? How are you going to apply it, and where are you going to apply it? That's what a spiritual diagnostic will do for you. And after the show, for no charge, I would love to give you one. I'd love to give you a absolutely free of charge 30-minute session that will go into where you're storing your pattern, what part of your spirit. But I want to commend you, and I want to tell you, you're doing a great job for realizing and understanding that there is a pattern there. That is the first step to releasing an unwanted cycle and an unwanted pattern, the realization of it. I hope that answers your question.
Wow. Karina, what do you think of that?
I think that's amazing. I think it's amazing. I'm learning all this. This is all new to me. And this whole navel chakras thing, I don't know much about it. I've been practicing a little bit. I mean, it takes time. But I'm kind of clueless to all this chakra level type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it surely is amazing, and I do believe that, yes, we are capable of transforming ourselves, from the inside out, definitely.
Absolutely.
And you guys have been a part of my transformation, and I am so thankful for this radio station from the bottom of my heart.
And there is a solution. There's a solution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The other thing I want to say is, and it took me a while, Karina, to get to this, is if you could think about it as energy, right? Just for a minute. If you could take a step back and think about it from your point of view, you're going to get to work with these ladies, which is going to be amazing. But if you could think about the energy of it, I'm really struck by growing up in an Italian family, right? And if you're a young child and you're part of the way we grew up as kids, and you have your first experience at, let's say, an Italian Sunday dinner, and you're part of that energy, and you're a young child, and people are yelling at each other, and there's a lot of excitement and a lot of emotion, and that's the only experience you have for whatever reason. There you go. You get that experience. People are saying, pass me this, pass me that. There's not enough of this. I mean, that's it, right? If that's your only experience as a child, you grow up with a feeling about that Sunday dinner that is very different from the way it then unfolds after time and time again. And what you learn, if you're me and you grow up with that family, is you learn about a culture that fully expresses themselves. And so yelling is a part of that culture, but it's how you do it that really becomes an energy and takes on a life of its own. And I think that what you're going to do is you're going to get to work with Carol and get to work in an experience that's going to help you really not just understand the dynamic of that, but look at the impact that it's had on both you as well as your family. Because I think this is the energy of this, right? It's the energy, like love has an energy. So I'm glad you called in. Thank you so much for this. And we'll make sure that stay on the phone so Benny can get some information from you if you would.
I sure will.
This is really important about this to talk about for folks. And I would love for you both to talk about this from an energetic point of view, because we've just now starting to embrace that word. But you both have been doing this so long that you live and breathe this. You can feel it, right? And thank you for your gracious gift right there.
Oh, yes. It's definitely a gift and a labor of love.
It is, definitely. You have to, you got to love it to do it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. I want to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about what's possible here. You know, you folks have just heard on the show here just a little snippet of what's possible. When we come back, we're going to talk about how does spiritual diagnostics change a person's life? And what might you wonder about it? And if you want to call in, we still have a little time, 1-800-930-2819, 1-800-930-2819. Give us a call. We'll see if we can get you in here right away. And when we come back, we'll give you lots more information about Carol Dorian and Suzanne Evans, everybody. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hosts one of today's most popular psychic shows, Angels and Answers, with Artie Hoffman, as she communicates healing messages from the spirit world. These messages can be astounding, enlightening, and life-changing. Born with the God-given talent of inner guidance and the amazing ability to heal, Sky has healed thousands of people. Schedule a reading with Sky now. Call 908-500-1474 and visit skyofangels.com.
How would you like increased health and vitality? How would you like to avoid the onset of disease as well as slow the aging process? This is all possible through a simple, safe, and natural process. Every day we are either moving toward wellness or away from wellness.
Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. I'd like to be your partner in achieving optimal health. Contact me now at maryjanemack.com or call 425-392-0659. Visit maryjanemack.com.
What is a brilliant culture? And how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you design a culture that is authentic, innovative, and successful. Learn how to create change with Cultural Brilliance Radio, the DNA of organizational excellence, and Claudette Rowley. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit ClaudetteRowley.com.
TheAngelLady.net. 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 1-800-323-1790. 1-800-323-1790. Sue Storm. TheAngelLady.net.
A word of caution: if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
Wow. Hey, everyone. It's so great to have all of you tune us in and turn us on. I'm so thrilled, to introduce all of you to my friends and my colleagues joining me here today. As I mentioned before, I'm talking about Carol Dorian, Suzanne Evans of Spiritual Diagnostics, and we are going to talk about the fix-it factor. But the way we're going to talk about this is we've got somebody that is just called into the show, and I would love, if you don't mind, that we bring Phyllis on and talk about this in terms of what she's hoping for. And let's see if we can get a hold of the fix-it factor right through Phyllis here today. Benny, let's bring Phyllis on the show.
Hello.
Hey, Phyllis, how are you?
Hey, Phyllis.
Hi.
always happy to connect with your station and show.
Sweet. Well, how can we help you today?
I get up in the morning and I turn 1150 on because it helps me so much. And I realize as I'm listening to your show, I'm just sitting here. I feel like I'm a frozen blob sitting, just being fearful of taking a stance and getting out of a relationship where I have a partner who basically, the woman who was on before just made me really think of this. He goes from being very nice to, I never know when I'm going to get corrected verbally about this, that, or the other thing. I feel like it's not my place to be here. I'm afraid to make the verbal statement to him because I don't have much money to take myself elsewhere. And it's like I'm not honoring source in saying that I believe that I'll be taken care of when I speak my truth. And I'm also living out, I think, my parents' marriage where they were sad and so unhappy. They hardly talked to each other in the later years. They were just stuck with each other. My father was, he swore for better or worse that he was going to take care of her, and she didn't have any place to go like my feeling. I think I'm traveling her route right now of staying in place because of the fear of what is out there or not out there. And at the same time, I'm starting up my new business, which is why I don't have a whole lot of income right now to support myself. That's it.
Well, there we go. Suzanne, I think you're going to take this, right?
Yes, and I'm really connecting to your energy. And the first thing that I pick up very strongly by your voice vibrations is a pattern in your aura that is lingering with you, a pattern of giving out more than you are actually receiving. And I don't only pick up that pattern in your love life and in this relationship, I pick up on this pattern being with you for a while, and it repeats itself. And this pattern, what it has created is a lack of confidence within. How long have you been feeling a lack of confidence?
Oh my gosh. Probably decades.
Because it seems like it's been there for quite a while, even maybe going as far as back as young adulthood, childhood. So this is creating patterns. And when we lack confidence within, when we're not expressing ourselves the way we need to, when we're constantly giving out so much more than we're receiving physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, what does that create? It creates unwanted patterns in our life of not speaking out, not taking that stand for us, always feeling like if we speak for ourselves, something's going to backfire. And those are the patterns that I pick up very clearly in your aura, in your energy. And this is definitely, and I definitely pick up very strongly where I pick up there is spiritual blocks that is creating these patterns to linger with you for quite a while now, is in the throat chakra and in the heart chakra. And why in the throat chakra I'm picking up is because of you not verbally expressing yourself, you not verbally taking a stand for you the way that you desire, and also within your heart, disappointment, not receiving what you desired, giving out and having an idea or expectations of things going one way and not going according to plan and turning out in a negative environment instead of a positive environment. So these are definitely patterns that had stored itself from your aura. And I definitely would like for you to call us after the show and provide, a free session of a more deep and entailed, analysis of your aura, your chakras, and take a deeper look on what is going on here.
And I'd like to add.
Not only does she pick it up, but I got to tell you, I'm picking it up where I've actually got a little cough in my throat about it. And I think that part of that is when we get silenced in our lives by fear, right? When we get silenced, right, Suzanne? Part of this is feeling like we don't have any choices. Like
Yes.
we're kind of in a place where if we turn left, we're doomed. If we turn right, we're doomed. And I can't believe how my throat is closing up over that. I'm so glad you're going to get some help on this.
Yes,
Thank
because
you.
it is fear-based.
I'm sorry, what number do I call to connect?
312-898-2285.
2285. 312-898-2285. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for calling in. Blessings.
Yeah, you're going to get some relief on this. This doesn't have to be this way. So, that's really the takeaway from this is that, each of us has points in time and things that we're involved with that are conditions. And you said it best. You said, how do you diagnose the spiritual condition? Right?
Yes, absolutely.
You didn't say, how do we, right? We're not here to say this is a thing that has to be with us forever, are we?
No,
Absolutely
it does not.
not.
It does not have to be with us. There is a solution.
Right.
Nobody has to allow this to linger in their life.
No,
Right.
definitely not.
Right.
Every locked door has a key.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you both, I mean, I know you work with people from every walk of life. You work with folks on how to show up in the world, how to be who they are. Are you finding that there is something that's heaviest on people's minds now? I know this is not cookie cutter, and we need to say that, but I'm just so curious about whether or not you're sensing a theme in people today.
Purpose.
Purpose.
Recognizing and fulfilling purpose seems to be.
And a vibe that I am really connecting to today, especially while we're on the show, and there's so many people listening, there's so much energy around. I pick up people wanting to take control of their decisions, their life, their situations. I feel that there's people listening in that feel like they don't have the control that they need or desire to move forward. But you know what? There's a solution for them to be able to receive that control.
Absolutely. And if we have a few more minutes, I'd like to say that,
yes, please.
Everything that we are faced with, there is a solution, and it can be fixed. So when we perform a meditative reading and where we receive voice vibrations, or in person and we're receiving visual vibrations, we feel and receive the energy that is unreleased and contained and where it's located, meaning the chakras, the aura. Just like you received it, you could feel it in your throat when the lady was talking, whether it's in the aura, spiritual DNA. And the first step is identifying. The second step is the origin, meaning is it from a past life, childhood, conception, a negative relationship, an unresolved issue. And then the third step is we want to structure a healing method and apply it, whether it's pranic healing, chakra balancing, soul retrieval, Reiki, spiritual release, or there are times that more than one method is combined and applied. And this is all about releasing the effect of unwanted memories, emotions, or patterns that we are holding on to.
Yeah. And when we're thinking about that, and I said this before, we don't have to do it alone. We don't have to do it alone. That's why you ladies do what you do. I want to thank you for today. And one last time, I would like you to give out your websites, tell folks how they can contact you directly. And thank you for gifting our callers today with that beautiful gift. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
And for everyone who's listening, if you want to give us a call after the show, 312-898-2285, or log on to our site, spirituald.com. Tune in every Tuesday, 12 o'clock Pacific time. We look forward to hearing from you. And till we communicate again, love, light, and blessings.
Awesome. Thank you all. We'll see you next time.
Great.
preceding audio was via a Skype call.